there's like all the action is right here. Alright? I'm gonna put it on us right now. Because we're live now. So I'm just gonna keep it on us. Kind of then some stuff that you would need to know before I just kind of jump on with you. I'll just kind of tell you and then go over. So yeah, the only time that we would like really, you don't need to, so watch the teams when they're like, they're set and they hit. That's it. They're not really doing, I mean, you can imagine that they're hitting the wall. The action's like really over like in the middle of the court. You don't see it unless it's hit the back row. You only see it, yeah, then you move it, but you just don't see it very often. I mean, you do see it a lot, but like, you don't want to, let me give you an example. When the ball switches to that side, don't do that. And then when the ball switches to the other side, don't do that. It's like, you do like, whoa. So you just kind of go back and forth, a little bit here.
And when is the serve? When you serve?
And the serve is going to be the farthest one.
Yeah, so how do I do the serve? Let's say
So
the
I'll
serve.
show you. I'll show you when the game starts. But you'll get the serve right here. Okay. Look, they'll be like back here.
Okay.
Serve it. They're gonna go. They're gonna serve it all the way across to the other side, like all the way to the back. So that's when you would like swing it like that. Like kind of not like directly, but like follow the ball all the way to there. But it will go all the way to the back.
So just follow the ball.
Yeah, for that. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, just kind of follow. Keep it in the middle. Don't need to just maybe a little bit. If it goes to the side and they get it,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from the Sherwood Center in the George Ball Court on the campus of Whitman College for tonight's Northwest Conference home finale for the Whitman Blues against the George Fox University Bruins. Whitman coming off a straight set victory last night over Lewis and Clark. George Fox fell 3-1 to Whitworth last night. So Whitman looking to continue their winning ways here with the home finale, and it's also senior night here. So the Blues will be celebrating their two seniors, Lily Thompson and Jamie Bartok, senior middle blocker and senior libero. I had a chance to talk to Coach Helm before the match, and he had lots of nice things to say, of course, about both the seniors, and I'll bring you more on that as we get into the Senior Day festivities before the game gets started here in just a couple of minutes. Should be an exciting matchup here tonight. We're looking forward to watching the Blues close out a successful homestand before their final matches next week on the road in the conference regular season. On Friday, they'll play PLU, and on Saturday, they'll take on UPS. Both teams sitting above Whitman in the Northwest Conference standings right now. Whitman at fourth place, standing 8-5 conference record. So important win, certainly an important match tonight, but they'll have two very important matches next weekend to stay in the running for Northwest Conference tournament appearance. So here we go as our arena announcer is going to line us all up here, and we're going to recognize seniors Jamie Bartok and Lily Thompson. I'm going to step back, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear the arena announcements, but I'm going to at least give that a chance to be heard, and then I will come back after we've recognized these seniors and talk to you a little more about starting lineups and Coach Helm's two seniors. Okay, the seniors on the court now getting their pictures taken, family celebrations going on. Congratulations to both of them. So Jamie Bartok, a 5'8" senior from Clear Lake, Washington, a psychology major, has been playing libero all season. Been tons of fun to watch. Lily Thompson, middle blocker, 6-foot senior out of Everett, Washington. I talked to Coach Helm before the match, and he was just effusive in his praise. He said, quote, "Their resilience and leadership to this program has been undeniable. They've been amazing mentors to this young team, some of the hardest workers we've ever had in the program. They're both very selfless players, and he credited them with their team-first mentality, always wanting to see their teammates succeed even more than themselves." So kudos to both Jamie and Lily for outstanding careers here and a fantastic senior season underway here for Whitman Blues volleyball. and hopefully more play remaining with 2 more regular season games, and then let's see if we can hold on to that top 4 placement for an opportunity to play in the Northwest Conference tournament. Congratulations to the seniors. In other Whitman action today, while we're waiting for our national anthem here to be ready, the Whitman women's soccer team thumped George Fox earlier today 5-0. And in cross country, both men's and women's cross country teams participated in the Northwest Conference tournament today, or Northwest Conference Championships in Tacoma. Both teams placed 5th in the team rankings, individual performers. For the women, Ella Harrington finished 4th overall in the women's race, and on the men's side, Jack McManus finished 12th. Also, the report from Coach Scott Shields is that the fire alarm in the team hotel went off 5 times last night, so not exactly the most restful night of preparation for the cross-country teams, but kudos to them for good performances today in the Northwest Conference Championships. All right, we'll pause here for the national anthem. We'll be back with starting lineups. And we are back at the Sherwood Center in George Ball Court with the starting lineups for tonight's match. I'm Jay Kratulis, and glad to have you with us here for the home finale for the Blues. Looking first at the starters for George Fox. The starting hitters will be Lexi Bear, 6-foot senior out of Missoula, Montana. Addison Goff, a 5'9" first year from Denver, Colorado, and Gracie Bearden, a 5'9" junior from Sonora, California. Starting setter, Michaela Cronholm, a 5'8" senior from Sonora, California. Starting middle blockers, Alaire Gilder, a 5'7" senior from Albany, Oregon, and Jordan Hahn, a 5'11" sophomore from Santa Clarita, California. And the starting libero for the Bruins will be Isabella Avila, a 5'6" sophomore out of Fairfield, California. On the Blues side of the roster, a lot of familiar faces in the starting lineup. The starting attacking players will be first-year Sammy Holmer, a 5'9" first year from Linwood, Washington. Addie Belt, a 5'10" first year out of Boise, Idaho. And Arena Gushina, 5'10" sophomore out of Woodinville, Washington. The starting middle blockers, one of our seniors, Lily Thompson, 6-foot senior out of Everett, Washington. And Kendall Herman, a 6'1" first year out of Manhattan Beach, California. The starting setter tonight will be Malia Ferraro, the 5'7" sophomore out of Spokane. And in the libero jersey, our other senior tonight, Jamie Bartok, the 5'8" senior from Clear Lake, Washington. Looking at the Blues statistics, Arena Gushina continues to lead the way in terms of absolute number of kills, 180 kills now on the season, averaging almost 3 kills per set. Addie Belt close behind at 159 kills on the season. Sammy Holmer and Lily Thompson both above the 100-kill mark as well. Lily, the most efficient attacking player, hitting 286, 110 kills versus only 28 hitting errors again on 287 total attempts. So kudos to Lily and that experience. leading her to really clean attacking. Overall, the Blues are hitting 154 as a team. We've seen a lot of platooning in the last couple of games from Coach Helm at the setter position, as Ferraro, Haley Pruce, and Milana Massey have all done a really admirable job stepping in and delivering outstanding ball sets for the Blues attackers. On the Bruins side of the roster, it's, of course, Gracie Bearden and Lexi Baer, the two of the frontline attackers leading the way with over 150 kills each. 152 for Gracie Bearden, 157 for Lexi Baer. Baer hitting .219 on the season, so she's very much the most efficient attacker on the Bruins side, and I'm sure the Blues defenders will be on the lookout for her. So with the starting lineups introduced, teams are shaking hands at the net. We'll be getting ready to play here. Kickoff action in this home finale on senior night here at the Sherwood Center. Thanks for joining us for Northwest Conference volleyball play. As teams set their lineups for the first rotation here, get ready to kick things off. Not certain who will have the first serve yet. Some of the familiar faces on the officiating crew here as they check the rosters, and we'll make sure everybody's in proper rotation. We saw a couple of uncharacteristic rotation errors by the Blues last night. One right after a substitution, which was not all that surprising, is some shuffling in and out, players who hadn't played up to that point in the match. But one later in the match that I think probably had Coach Helm a little frustrated. So hopefully we'll see that cleaned up a little bit. Some really strong serving in last night's match against Lewis and Clark, particularly from the Whitman setters. Haley Pruce and Malia Ferraro both went on long stretches of excellent service with plenty of service winners. Here in the first rotation, it'll be Sammy Holmer serving first for the Blues. We've seen Sammy lead off the serving a lot, although in the last few games it has not been her in the first rotation. So we're back to early season patterns, and Sammy here will get the opportunity to set Addie Belt. Great pancake there by the Bruin libero, Isabella Avila, getting down to the floor for that one. A little poke over there by Gushina. Fox will have a big swing at this one, but nicely deflected by Kendall Herman. Ferraro sets Gushina. Dug nicely by Avila there. That swing by Fox. Not sure if the Whitman defenders thought that was touched at the net, but it was clearly going to sail wide. Little tip attack as Ferraro goes to the floor to handle that one. That attack, Gushina is off of the Bruin wall and out of bounds for the Whitman point. Nice prolonged action from both teams there. Some excellent attacking opportunities. No one able to get a clean kill on it. But some nice play from both teams. Coach Emily Davis for the Bruins out to talk to the officials. Holmer puts the ball back in play. Deep cross-court serve. That set comes across to Lexi Baer, but dug out by Jamie Bartok. Sammy Holmer scrambles to keep it in play. That set to Addison Goff is handled nicely by Sammy Holmer. Wow, that attack by Gushina comes right back, but dug out nicely by the Blues to keep it alive. A little hesitancy there about who was going to get that ball, and it falls to the floor from side out to the Bruins. They'll get their first opportunity to serve. Knotted up at one apiece. As Addison Goff, the 5'9" first year from Denver, will serve first for the Bruins. Goff drives one deep, handled nicely by Holmer. Beautiful pass to Ferraro. But boy, that set to Kendall Herman came right back off the George Fox wall. Really nice defense. The Bruins statistically have slightly more Slightly better blocking team than the Blues, 1.6 blocks per set against 1.3 blocks per set for Whitman. Ferraro back sets to Addie Belt, but that sails just wide of the sideline. She got a nice swing on that, but landed just outside the court. And it's 3-1 Bruins now as Goff is back to serve again. That pass goes a bit awry for Gushina, but nice hustle by Jamie Bartok to chase that down. That attack from Gracie Bearden called out by the linesman right at his feet there. Lily Thompson subs in for Kendall Herman as the Blues take the side out, and Jamie Bartok's back to serve for Whitman. 3-2 now. Whitman trailing 1 by 1. The quick set there to Alaire Gilder, 5'7" senior. Catches the Whitman defense a little off guard, and they're unable to handle that one, and it's side out back to the Bruins. Gilder's back to serve now. Fox 2-point leaders. That one nicely handled by Gushina, who gets the set right back. It's off the Fox wall, but they've got control. They'll get a chance to swing at that. Ferraro passes to Bartok, who puts the long set across to Addie Belt, and the Fox team lets it drop to the court. A nice swing there by Addie. The whale of a set from Jamie Bartok. And Addie will go back to serve now for Whitman. That set comes across to Bearden, who just puts the ball across. Big swing from the back line there from Addie Belt. And it's another winner to her credit as she knots it up for all. Excellent work there to kind of take the Bruin front line out of the equation with that deep. Oh, that serve sails just long from Addie. We saw a little bit of service error bugaboo for both Whitman and Lewis and Clark last night. Definitely want to be cleaning that up tonight. But it's a side out to George Fox. Chloe Wiersma now in the match for the Bruins. 5'8" sophomore from Marysville, Washington, and she'll put the ball into play with a 1-point lead. A little tick attack there from Lily. Put right back. Nice block there by Thompson. And that attack from Fox sails long out of bounds. And it's side out to the Blues, where Arena Gushina is now back to serve for Whitman. 5 apiece. As usual, Arena wastes no time. That pass goes a little askew. Fox just scrambles to get it over the net. Big attack there. Ferraro with the perfect set across to Sammy Homer on the left side, and she gets all of that one, and it deflects off the Bruin defenders and out of bounds. Isabella Avila didn't know whether to field that serve or not. I think she chose wisely. That was going to drop in. She wasn't able to control it, and it's another point on Arena's serve. Blues now up 2, 7-5. That one received by Goff. The set for the little roll attack. Nicely done there by Gracie Bearden, identifying the gap behind the Blues blockers. And it's a side out. And Gracie Bearden will go back to serve for Fox. 7-6 now, Fox trailing by 1. Another set to Sammy Homer, who absolutely drills that one to the court. 2 really nice swings here by Sammy in a short amount of time. We're going to see a service substitution here for the Blues. Taryn Flaherty will come in for Lily Thompson, and Kendall Herman comes back in. Bartok and Thompson both take a break. Flaherty drives a nice deep serve. That attack from Addison Goff sails wide and out of bounds. And it's a point on Taryn Flaherty's serve. Taryn, a 5'5" sophomore out of Kirkland. He's been seeing time in rotation to serve. That's a nice attack there. Nice. Isabella Avila back to serve now for the Fox. Handled nicely by Addie. The set coming again to Sammy, who sees she's got a wall in front of her and just flicks the ball across. Aaliyah sets Kushina on the back row. Gets a nice hit on it, but it's fielded by Chloe Wiersma. Kendall Herman tries to adapt to the defense she sees in front of her, tries to just flick it over, but doesn't get enough of that ball, and it falls short for a Bruin point. Avila will serve again as it's now Blues by 1 again, 9-8. Arena unable to handle that low serve, and it's a service winner for the Bruins to tie it up at 9 apiece. This one driven to Gushina again. Big set Ferraro there to Sammy Holmer. Got a really nice swing on it, but it's handled nicely by the Fox defense. It was Chloe Wiersma with that. That one comes back from the wall, but really nice reaction there by Sammy to keep it alive. The Blues put the ball over. And that little flick attack. Look at Jamie Bartok's hustle there to get to the floor and keep the play alive for the Blues. Little scramble here. Neither team really in rotation. Oh, my goodness. Tremendous hustle from multiple Blues players there, especially that last chance dive. And what was a truly chaotic point. Had some fantastic effort from both teams. Ultimately goes the way of the Bruins as they are now 10-9 leaders with Isabella Avila back to serve again. This one comes to Addie Belt. Ferraro sets Holmer, and that one, good hustle there by Fox to track it down. We have another attempt, the back set to Kendall Herman. That one off of the Fox wall and down for the Whitman side out. Good swing there by Kendall Herman. After several sets in a row to the left side of the front line, Ferraro put that behind her, and Kendall Herman made the most of that opportunity. As Ferraro serves, that pass comes a little over the net, and Herman puts it back down. Whitman blockers get all of that one. Good hustle here to control. Sammy puts it over. That set deflected off the front wall there. Another swing by Herman. Good job there by the front wall. We've got an out-of-bounds call. I believe that one went outside the antenna, perhaps. And it's a Whitman point on Ferraro's serve. We're all knotted up 11-10. Ferraro drives this one deep. It's handled by Gracie Bearden. And that swing from Addison Goff off the Blues defenders and down for the point. Side out to Fox. Lexi Bear and Michaela Cronholm return to the lineup for George Fox, and Cronholm will be back to serve. 11 apiece here in the early going, or the middle of the first set. Cronholm puts that one deep to the back corner where Sammy passes it. A little tick attack there from good scramble there by Kendall Herman to see that ball rolling over the top of the net tape, and she just flicks it over to the left side of the Fox front line where there's nobody there to handle it. And it's side out to the Blues where Sammy Holmer is back at service. And she drives that one right to Avila. Swing there by Goff, but it's handled nicely by the Blues. Addie Belt doesn't get that swing quite where she wants it, and it's into the net, and it's a side out back to George Fox. Addison Goff now serving for the Bruins. So we're at 12-all here in the first set. That one is handled by Gushina. Set to Addie Belt. She identifies that gap in the back corner. Good hustle there by Goff to get a hand on it, but unable to control it, and it's a side out to the Blues. We see Bartok and Lily Thompson return to the lineup, and Bartok will serve. Drives it deep down the line to Goff. Wow, that big swing there by Jenna Nibbs. Oh, excuse me, that's number 5. That was Lexi Bear. Thought that was a number 9. Nicely dug by the Blues, but ultimately the point goes the way of the Bruins. Wow, that was a big swing by Bear. This is Alaire Gilder now back to serve for George Fox. $13 apiece. Tight match here in the first set. Big swing by Gushina is sent back by the Bruin wall, but it is out of bounds. And it is side out to the Blues. Nice swing there by Arena. First year Addie Belt back to serve now. It's the lefty drives it deep where Addison Goff is unable to handle it. I don't know if receiving a left-handed volleyball serve is as miserable as receiving a left-handed tennis serve, but based on my experience, I don't enjoy receiving service from a lefty, and the Bruins have struggled here with 2 in a row from Addie. As Whitman's got their nose out in front now, 16-13 here in set number 1. Nice driving serve to the left side. Nice job there by Avila to handle it. Nice job by the front line there. I believe that was Lexi Bear put that one away, identifying big gap there in the Whitman front line and just flicking it across court. Multiple subs here. Haley Pruce coming in to set now for Whitman for a bit. And we also have Sophie Brezemli in for the Blues. Sophie putting in some fantastic time in the last couple of home matches. Multiple subs for the Bruins as well. I'm sorry that I didn't get those numbers. But we've got Chloe Wiersma back to serve now for Fox. Wow, good hustle there by Haley Bruce, but the ball unfortunately just drifts wide, and it's a point to Fox. So we got Gabriela Yepez Suarez in for the first time, and also I think Gracie Bearden came back in that last round of substitutions. Driving serve there from Wiersma, handled nicely by the Blues. That one from Gushina paints the line. Beautifully struck by Arena there. And she'll be back to serve with a 2-point edge for the Blues. Another big swing there, Jordan Hahn, but it's handled nicely. And a nice swing there by the Blues. Sophie Brezemli off the Fox defenders and out of bounds for the point to the Blues. 18-15 now. Nice serve there by Arena, just right into the gut of Isabella Avila. Does her best to handle that, and it's a timeout for the Fox Bruins. Coach Emily Davis wants to talk this over with her team as the Blues are now out to a 4-point edge here in set 1. And we'll be back in just a moment.
Sarah Marshall. I'm a senior politics and environmental studies major, and I work with the Career and Community Engagement Center as the student leader for our community partnerships. It has provided me with a lot of opportunities to work collaboratively with a diverse range of people. So as I look to my post-grad plans, I'm thinking a lot about nonprofit work and community building, community organizing, and I don't think that any of that would have been the direction I would have chosen without having this hands-on experience.
Welcome back to the George Ball Court at the Sherwood Center, where Whitman leads George Fox 19-15 in set number 1 of tonight's Northwest Conference volleyball match. I'm Jay Kratulis. I'm glad to have you back with us. It's been a back and forth first set. Only here in the late goings have we seen the Blues stick their nose out in front. They have the serve. Sophomore attacker Irina Gushina puts it into play very quickly. She wastes no time after the ref blows the whistle, indicating ready to play. Quick set there to Lily Thompson, but it is handled by Fox. And that little roll attack, excellent dive there by Haley Pruce to get a paw under that one. but the follow-on shot sails outside the antenna, and it's side out to George Fox. Gracie Bearden back to serve now for Fox. 19-16 now. Fox 3-point trailers. Serve handled by Sammy Homer. Quick set to Lily Thompson, but that's dug out of there by Chloe Wiersma. Nice job there by the Blues defense, or the Bruin defense. Good reaction there by Lily. Sophie puts enough of a hit on that. Brzemla gets another kill to her credit as the Fox defenders are unable to handle that little shot down the line. That one didn't need a lot of power, but excellent placement there by Sophie. As we see Herman and Flaherty return to the match for the Blues, and Flaherty will be back to serve. 20-16 now, the Blues up 4. That one takes it off the net, but Wiersma handles it for the Bruins. Nice swing there by Addison Goff, is unable to be handled by the Blues, and it's side out back to George Fox. As Alaire Gilder returns, and Avila will be back to serve for George Fox. Low driven serve. Oh no. Little flip. The pass from the Blues on the service receive went over, and Fox tipped it right back over to an empty court. And Coach Helm wants to talk about it as it's down to a 2-point Blues edge. Timeout Whitman. Today's game is being brought to you by Flow College, the essential destination for college conference partners in Division 1, 2, and 3, which packages live event streams and rich editorial content into one accessible product. It is the leader in streaming for Division 2 and 3 sports and the number one provider of women's sports at these levels, with more than 9,000 games slated for the 2025-2026 season. With Flow College, subscribers have the most comprehensive and personalized access to select college conferences, schools, and teams across all leading web, mobile, and connected TV applications. Looking at a few early statistics from that last timeout, Whitman with the edge in the attack, 11 kills to 8, both teams making 4 hitting errors. Whitman, few more attacking attempts, 38 attacks versus 35 for the Bruins. So the Blues hitting 184 to 114 for Fox. Down to crunch time here in the back half of the first set. Whitman 20, George Fox 18. Fox with the serve as the Blues look to stop this little Fox mini run, and Avila quickly puts the ball into play. Kushina to Proust to Brzemla. Dug out there nicely by Wiersma. That ball comes back across. Kushina sets Brzemla again, but the left side there of Addison Goff and Alaire Gilder send that attack back at the Blues, and it's now a 1-point match. 2019 as Avila will serve again. She drives this one deep center to Kushina. That set comes out to Sammy Homer, who hits it cross court around the Bruins defenders. Bartok goes to the court to try and dig that one out off the deflection and is unable to get to it, and it is a tie match here at 20 all. Avila serving once more for Fox. Overpass there, but Proust does a nice job of recovering that little closeout by, wow, big swing there from Addison Goff on the left side of the Fox front line. It's 21-20 Bruins, and Coach Helm takes another quick timeout. Does not like the 5 points in a row now scored by George Fox, and he wants to talk about it with his players. And we will take a quick break and come back with you to see the end of the first set here in just a moment. Welcome back to the Sherwood Center, where we are in a tight one here in set number 1. George Fox Bruins now with a 1-point lead over the Whitman Blues, 21-20. And Fox will be serving again. Both teams back on the court. And Bruins libero Isabella Avila here on a serving run. At least 5, possibly 6 points in a row here off her serve. They lost track. And she drives it deep to Gushina, who kind of struggles to handle that one. The ball manages to go over, and Fox is going to have an opportunity, but they don't make the most of that. And that bop there from Addison Goff sails just past the end line for the Blues. It's a side out as Addie Belt and Malia Ferraro return to the match for Whitman. And Ferraro will take the serve. It's all 21 apiece. Ferraro served really, really well yesterday. Let's see if that hot hand carries over to tonight's match. Puts that one high and deep. Wow, nicely dug out there by Gushina. Sammy Holmer does not get the swing she wants on that one. That was well below the top of the net tape, and it's back to George Fox, who will be 1 point leaders. Multiple subs for the Bruins, including number 12, Michaela Cronholm, coming in to serve for George Fox. Ferraro sets Addie Belt, but that's dug out by Gracie Bearden. And the big swing there by Alaire Gilder for George Fox, leaving no doubt about that one. And it's 2 point edge now for the Bruins. Coach Helm makes a substitution here. Sophomore Bella Vickers, or excuse me, junior Bella Vickers, 5'8" junior from Hilo, Hawaii, comes in, giving Sammy Holmer a rest. Vickers has also played some excellent minutes in relief these last few matches. And she's going to get this opportunity to swing right off the bat. It deflects off the block of Gilder and Goff and falls to the floor for a much-needed side out for Whitman. It's now 22-23. The Bruins by 1 as Bella Vickers is back to serve now for Whitman. Big swing there by Goff off the left side blockers and out of bounds, but last touch by Whitman, and it's set point for Fox here on the serve of Addison Goff. It's must-score time here for the Blues. That overpass by Gushina is handled. Oh, my goodness. Good scramble there. That receive of serve by Gushina almost went over the net, but it was handled beautifully by Ferraro, and then Gushina put it in the absolute corner of the court. Side out to the Blues. Bartok returns, Lily Thompson returns, and Bartok serves. Still a must-win point here for Whitman. Belt goes to the ground to dig that attack out. Bella Vickers puts the ball over. Tough set there. Good scramble by the Blues. Gushina swings. Both teams definitely in scramble out of system mode here. Lily Thompson with a little back flick. Now Avila puts it across the left side for Huffman, I think that was. It was 19. There we go. And finally, it was Gracie Bearden on that one. But boy, Addie Belt finally able to put that point away, and it's all knotted up at 24 apiece. We're going to extra points here in set number 1 as Jamie Bartok is serving once more for Whitman. Bartok puts that one very deep, handled by Avila. And we got a free ball coming to Whitman here. That set comes to Gushina. Excellent hustle by Vickers to the floor. That one has to go over. Gushina puts it across. And that swing by Alaire Gilder for Fox sails wide out of bounds. And it is now set point for the Blues. Fox players looking to Coach Davis to see if she wants to take a timeout, but says no. We've got a conversation between the officials. Obviously, we have no idea what they're talking about, as we have a break in the action here. Conversation about maybe whether there was a touch or not, and or whether a ball was out of bounds. And now Coach Davis is going to take a timeout. She wants to talk about it here as the Blues are serving at set point 25-24. You can visit whitmanblues.com for all your up-to-date information on Whitman athletics, including current team schedules and student-athlete features. Also follow Whitman Athletics on X, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So we have a timeout here, 25-24 in the first set. We'll be back in just a second. And welcome back to the Sherwood Center at Whitman College, where the Whitman Blues lead the George Fox Bruins 25-24 in set number 1. As Jamie Bartok, senior libero for the Blues, is ready to serve here at set point. That comes to Avila. That's set across to Gracie Bearden, but handled nicely by the Blues defense. That's set to Addie Belt, who sees the opening on the front of the right side of George Fox and puts the beautiful finesse kill across down for the win and the first set. Nicely done, Blues. They fought off multiple set points for Fox and end up winning set number 1, 26-24, as the teams change sides. And we will take another break and be back with you with first set statistics after this. Welcome back to Sherwood Center, where Whitman has taken down set number 1 in tonight's Northwest Conference volleyball match against George Fox, 26-24, going into slightly extra points there. A nice fight back by the Blues after leading most of the set, falling behind there late, giving 2 set point opportunities to George Fox, but fighting those off and then taking down set number 1. Taking a look at the first set statistics, as the score would indicate, pretty evenly fought battle. 75 hitting percentage. George Fox, 15 kills and 6 errors on 54 total attacks, hitting 1 Ferraro, of course, a couple to Haley Proust, a couple to Jamie Bartok. 14 assists on the George Fox. Looking at the individual performances on the attacking side, Addie Belt, first Sammy Holmer, Sophie Brezemle, and Kendall Herman all with 2 apiece, and Bella Vickers coming in late and collecting 1 very key attack immediately after coming into the match. For the Bruins, it's Addison Goff leading the way with 5 kills, Alaire Gilder with 4, Gracie Bearden with 3, and then Gabriela Yepes Suarez, Jordan Hahn, and Alexis Baer with 1 apiece. So really hard-fought battle. Kudos to both teams in that first set. As we're ready to resume play here in set number 2, Addison Goff, the 5'9" first year out of Denver, is ready to serve things for the Bruins. That comes Bartok to Ferraro. She sets Addie Belt. That long cross-court attack sails just wide, and it will be a point to the Bruins. Goff puts the ball in play again. That one is askew off of the fists of Gushina. Bartok hustles to try and corral that ball, but can't get to it, and it's a second point here early to George Fox. Goff drives that one to Gushina again. Bartok sets Belt. That one's really close to that, but Addie does a really nice job of identifying that and just putting what she needed on to direct it around the Fox defenders and into open space. Down for the win. Bella Vickers stays in after some really nice minutes there at the end of set number 1, and she puts a tough serve at the feet of Isabella Avila, and it's another service winner for the Blues. It's now knotted up at 2 apiece. Good bounce back by the Blues, and we'll see Vickers continue here. She puts another high looping serve this time to Avila. That set comes across to Gracie Bearden, but her attack sails long, untouched by Whitman defense, so it's another point for the Blues. Vickers serves that one to Goff. Bearden gets another hit on that one, but dug nicely by Bella. And Kendall Herman does just what she needs to do to prevent bad things happening from that slight overpass, and puts the ball right down in the face of Alaire Gilder, and it's another point for the Blues. That one ticks off the top of the net. Little net assist there. Fox is unable to corral it, and it's a nice little run here on the serve from Bella Vickers. 5-2 now, Whitman with a 3-point edge. Put some pace on that one. That's a little flick by Alaire Gilder, handled nicely by the Blues. And that swing by Gushina is sent back by Lexi Baer on the right side of the Fox front line. And it's side out to George Fox. Alaire Gilder will be back to serve now for Fox. She puts a high looping serve all the way back to Jamie Bartok. That swing by Gushina sails just past the end line. Untouched by any Fox defenders, so it's another serve for Gilder. Boy, she serves that ball from well behind the baseline. That one ticks off the net. Bartok does a nice job to dive for it. That attack from Belt is rejected. Gushina's attack sent back. Boy, really nice work up front there. The combination of Baer and Jordan Hahn. Hahn got her hands on several of those swings there. I think she was responsible for rejecting both of those attacks on the left and then the right side. And now it's 5-all. As Alaire Gilder serves again for George Fox. The back set to Addie Belt is sent back by Gracie Bearden and Jordan Hahn, but it is out of bounds. I think the call is that the blockers actually didn't touch it, that came back off the net, so it is a point for George Fox. My mistake there. Gilder puts the ball deep again. This time Gushina takes a little bit off of it, puts it over the defense. That one ticks off the net, but handled nicely by Arena. Kendall Herman pokes that one up and over. And the ref rules there that one did not make it over the net, and it's a fourth hit called on Fox, and that will be side out to the Blues. 6 apiece now. This is Jamie Bartok back to serve now for Whitman. That swing by Bear sent back. And it's out of bounds. Outside of the antenna there, off the net post, and it's a point for the Blues. Now a 1-point edge on Bartok's serve. Sends that one deep down the line to Addison Goff. Good hustle there by Malia Ferraro. Addie puts a hit on it, but it's dug out by Goff. And that little flick by the Fox defense. The refs indicate that it was touched at the front line by the Blues. And that's side out to the Fox. The Whitman crowd does not like the call, but it's where we're at. Multiple subs there for the Bruins. I definitely didn't keep track of all of those, but one of them is Chloe Wiersma, who's in to serve now for George Fox. We've also seen Leon Samara come in the libero jersey. Nice work there by the Blues. Fox unable to corral that one. And it's a much-needed point. As Pruce and Brezemle will come back in for the Blues, giving Belt and Ferraro a break. And it will be Haley Pruce serving for Whitman. That slight overpass handled by the Fox defense, but giving Whitman a good opportunity. Brezemle smartly pokes just a little shot into the gap, but it's handled by Fox. Lily Thompson tosses one down into the gap, and it's a point to the Blues. Nice work there by the senior to identify the hole in the Fox defense. Haley Pruce serving again now. Blues lead by 2. Big swing there by Gracie Bearden is off the right side defense there of Brezemle and Lily Thompson. Vickers unable to track down the deflection, and it's a side out to George Fox as Gracie Bearden will serve now for the Bruins. 9-8 Whitman, 1-point leaders. That attack just deep into the backcourt there. Fox handles it nicely, but Addison Goff isn't able to put her swing over the net. And it's side out to the Blues. Now lead by 2, and Gushina will serve. And if history's any indication, she will serve very quickly after the ref blows his whistle. Goff pokes that one across, but Haley Pruce is there to handle it. The set comes to Brezemle, who puts a nice shot down the line, but Avila digs it out. That swing by Gabriela Yepes Suarez sent back. Looks like the net maybe did most of the job of sending that back, and it's ruled 4 hits there by the Bruins, and it's a point for the Blues. As Arena back to serve again. Big swing there by Jordan Hahn on the set from Wiersma, but it is Lily Thompson says no thank you. Sends that right back into the Bruins court, and it's another point for the Blues. Overpass there. Lily Thompson is there to eat that one for lunch. Makes no bones about it. Another nice, and it's a timeout for the Blues. Emily Davis needs to talk it over as Whitman has now stuck their head out by 5 points here in set number 2. Many thanks to the W Club for its support of our Whitman student athletes and athletics programs. The W Club exists to enhance excellence in varsity athletics and the student athlete experience, as well as help fund assistant coaches, international travel, and operating expenses. You can head over to www.whitmanblues.com to make a donation or become a W Club member. And if you like Whitman sports enough to be listening to me call a volleyball game, then you should be a member of the W Club like me. I'm going to take a short break, and I'll be back in just a minute with continued action in set number 2.
My name is Kane Ryan. I am a junior biochemistry, biophysics, and molecular biology major, and I am a fish culture technician at the CTUIR's Muscle and Lamprey Lab. I think growing up in the Pacific Northwest, just being surrounded by so many streams and lakes and river systems, and never really knowing what was going on in there always got me really curious and interested in what was happening.
Welcome back to the Sherwood Center in George Ball Court, where the Whitman Blues lead the George Fox Bruins 13-8 in set number 2. Whitman taking the first set 26-24, and Gushina puts the ball in play very quickly. And Fox forced to scramble to just poke that over. The quick set to Lily Thompson. Probably was going out of bounds, but sometimes the reflexes take over, and Chloe Wiersma gives Whitman a gift by chasing that one. And it's another point for the Blues on Gushina's serve. She pokes that one deep. And Bearden unable to handle that receive of serve. And it's now 15-8 for the Blues here. Gushina drives that one to Avila's feet, and she's unable to handle it. Good hustle by Addison Goff to try and recover that one, but it's another point on Arena's serve. And it's now Blues have the Bruins doubled up 16-8. Bearden tries to avoid hitting that, but unfortunately stays in the path of the ball. And the touch on the back, of course, leads to another Blues point. This time she stays out of the way of it, and it's a service out of bounds for the Blues. I'm going to see a substitution here. Kendall Koski will come in for some defense here on the receive of serve. Give Arena a much-deserved break. A long spell of serving there for Arena. And we've got Leanne Samara, the other libero jersey here for the Bruins, into serve. Quick serve to quick set to Lily Thompson. Nicely done there by Haley Bruce. And Lily puts it away for another kill. And we'll see Thompson and Bartok, the seniors, go to the side again, as usual here in this rotation. And Kendall Herman and Taryn Flaherty come back in. Flaherty will serve. She lofts a high one to Avila. Big swing there from Addison Goff. Unfortunately deflected off the Whitman defense for the side out. Lexi Baer, Michaela Cronholm back in for the Bruins. And Cronholm will be back to serve for George Fox. Now trailing 18-10. That one comes to Bella Vickers, who's unable to control it. Skews out of bounds for a quick point on the service ace there from Cronholm. That one sends Koski to the floor, but she handles it nicely. Wow, excellent reflexes by Sophie Brezumley to corral that one after the Fox blocker sent the attack right back. Vickers right there to handle that little flick. Sophie with another big swing off of the block of Gilder and Goff and out of bounds. Perfect angle on that swing there from Brezumley. We'll see another sub out as Addie Belt and Malia Ferraro return, giving Brezumley and Haley Pruce a break. Excellent minutes by the two of them in relief. Malia Ferraro back to serve. Blues leading by 8. That swing by Baer is sent back by the Blues defense. Koski gets a paw on it and keeps it alive. Jamie Bartok puts the free ball over. Excellent dig by Koski again on that one. The set to Vickers, and she puts it away at the feet of Gracie Bearden for the Blues point. Ferraro back to serve again. Blues now leading by 9, 20-11. Ferraro drives a short one into the gap there. Avila handles it. A little tick. Kendall Herman controls it. Vickers is going to have another opportunity, but that one's going to sail along. She knew it as soon as she hit it. And then we see the libero for libero swap as Avila goes to the sideline and Samara comes back for Fox. And it's Addison Goff going to serve now for George Fox, trailing by 8, 20-12 in the second set. Big swing by Vickers, comes back, but again, nice scramble by Blues defense. Belt does a nice job putting that one deep. That set to Alaire Gilder, and she gets all of that one. Nice swing by her. She puts it down in the back corner for the Fox point. Goff serving again, down 7. Bailed out. That attack from Addie might have gone long. Lexi Bear just kind of whiffs on that attack. And it is side out to the Blues. Kushina back in after some nice points there by Kendall Koski, spelling her for receive of serve, and Bella Vickers now drives her serve in. Quick attack. Wow, good effort there by Ferraro to keep this point alive. Kushina's attack sent back. Belt gets another swing at it, and it is off the block of Bearden and out of bounds for the Blues point. 22-13 now. Blues by 9 on the serve of Bella Vickers. Tremendous contributions by Vickers here in set number 2, but unfortunately sends that serve right into the net right as I'm praising her. Of course, that does nothing to undermine the good play she's put in. But it's side out to Fox. 22-14 now. Alaire Gilder back to serve for the Bruins. Vickers handles that one. Ferraro back sets Addie Belt. That one got away from her a little bit. Oh, but it was touched at the net by Fox. Thank goodness. Because no way that attack was staying in bounds. And Addie knows it. Big grin on her face. But sometimes you get lucky, and that touch gives the side out to Whitman. And it's 23-14 on Jamie Bartok's serve. She puts that one into the hands of Samara. Fox is going to be forced to play a free ball over here. Good job by Malia to corral that slight overpass. But Lily Thompson's attack is sent back by Hahn, the 5'11 sophomore. Nice job on the blocks tonight. Seeing Gabriela Yepes Suarez back into the match, giving Michaela Cronholm a break. And it's Wiersma serving for Fox. Little tip attack there from Lily Thompson, but it's handled by Fox. Good scramble by Bartok, now by Vickers. And Ferraro puts the ball over. Oh, overpass here by the... Thompson tries to put it away, but big swing there by Jordan Hahn. This scrappy little point is won by Fox. As it's side out back to the Bruins. Or no, it was on their serve, so Chloe Wiersma, point on her serve. 23-16 now, Fox trailing by 7. Looking to close this gap on Whitman. Tough serve there. Bartok is unable to handle it cleanly. And Coach Helm wants a timeout to talk about it. Just break this momentum a little bit. Don't want to let a nice big lead get away from you. And the Blues will take a break to talk about it. Just a reminder, the Blues close out the regular season next week on the road. On Friday, Whitman plays at PLU, and on Saturday, Whitman will play at the University of Puget Sound. You can head over to whitmanblues.com for game information, including dates, times, and viewing options. We'll take a break during this timeout, and we'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back to the Sherwood Center for Northwest Conference volleyball action between Whitman and George Fox. Fox serving, Chloe Wiersma putting the ball into play as the Bruins trail by 6 here in set number 2. Lily Thompson gives the ball back to Gushina, who puts it across, but it's handled by the Bruins. That tick attack, nice job by Lily Thompson to get a hand on that. Good rejection there by Gushina and Thompson on the left side. And a nice attack by Jordan Hahn there for the Bruins. Malia Ferraro does well to get a hand on it, but is unable to control it. And it's down to a 5-point lead for Whitman now after leading by as much as 9 here in set number 2. Wiersma puts it into play again. This one falls in front of Gushina. Ferraro sets it back to Arena, and she just ticks it over the Fox defenders. That one by Hahn comes back from Belt and Thompson. And the big ball across here. Ferraro's going to get a nice, oh no, miscommunication there between Ferraro and Thompson, and Vickers was not there to attack on the right side. So Blues just looking to clean things up here as their lead is down to 4, 23-19 in the late going of set number 2. Wiersma drives that one, and that receive from Bartok is overpassed, and it is put away by the Fox attackers, and Coach Helm has to take another quick timeout to talk about it, as we've seen Fox now take 6 or 7 points in a row. Whitman finished its annual All-In campaign last month, but you can continue to donate and support student athletes. Support goes toward team travel and operations, scholar athlete recruitment, and everything that enhances the Blues experience for scholar athletes. You can make a gift at give.whitman.edu. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Sherwood Center, where Whitman and George Fox are engaged in a tough battle here in Northwest Conference volleyball action. It was a big lead for Whitman here in set number 2, but we are now close and tight, 23-20 now, with the ball in the hands of George Fox for Chloe Wiersma to serve again. That one handled nicely by Vickers. Ferraro, this big swing by Addie Belt, but it's off the Fox defense and out of bounds. Much needed side out for the Blues. As Ferraro and Belt will go to the sideline, Haley Pruce and Sophie Bryzumley will return for Whitman. And Blues have set point on the serve of Haley Pruce. Haley drives that one deep to Addison Goff. Little tick attack, but Pruce sees it coming. Nicely handled. Wow, excellent job there. What a scramble by the Blues. Gashina puts that deep cross court, touched by the Fox defense and out of bounds for the second set to Whitman, 25-20. Nicely fought back there. I'm sure Coach Helm would have rather seen that margin significantly larger and a win earlier on, but the Blues get the job done in set number 2, and we have the changeover for set number 3. We'll be back for a look at second set statistics right after this. Welcome back to the Sherwood Center, where Whitman leads 2-0 against the George Fox Bruins in Northwest Conference volleyball action. Taking a look at second set statistics, both teams a little bit of a setback on the attacking side. Whitman 13 kills, 7 errors on 39 total attacks in set number 2, dropping their hitting percentage for the match as a whole down to 167. And Fox in the second set only 7 kills against 6 hitting errors on 35 total attempts in set number 2, bringing their hitting percentage down to 112 for the match. Individual performances, this is for both sets combined now. Leading the way for the Blues, first-year Addie Belt, 9 kills, 4 errors on 22 total attacks. Right behind her is sophomore Irina Gushina. She is 6 kills on 3 errors and 23 total attacks. Following her, senior Lily Thompson with 4 kills. Sophie Brazumley and Kendall Herman with 3 apiece. Bella Vickers and Sammy Holmer each with 2 kills. For the Bruins, it's Addison Goff leading the way with 6 kills against 4 errors on 22 attempts, 22 total attacks, hitting .091. More efficient is Alaire Gilder, 5 kills against only a single error, 14 total attacks, hitting .286. The best hitting percentage of any attacking player on the night. Jordan Hahn with 4 kills. Gracie Bearden also with 5 kills for the Bruins. And then Alexis Bear and Gabriela Yepez Suarez, 1 apiece. Teams are back onto the court here for set number 3. Blues back on the east side of the court. And we'll see Sammy Holmer leading things off, serving in rotation number 1 here in the third set. And here we go with set number 3. Sammy punishes the ball and sends it deep to Isabella Avila. That little flick attack. Look at that hustle by Bartok. They call 4 hits on the Blues there. Unfortunately, did not have the opportunity there to put that kill down from Addie Belt. And it's Fox serving with Gracie Bearden serving the ball for George Fox. That attack from Vickers doesn't make it over the net. And it's a point to George Fox, out to a 2-0 lead here early in the third set, as Gracie Bearden will serve again for the Bruins. Vickers handles that one nicely. Ferraro sets it back to Bella. Swings on the big cross-court attack, but that's handled by the Bruins. Good block there by Belt and Herman. Herman gets her hands on that one. Good hustle. And Vickers tosses it into the deep corner. Nice awareness there by Bella Vickers to identify the gap in the defense and puts the ball in a great spot for the Whitman side out. Thompson and Bartok back in, and Jamie will serve now, trailing 2-1. That cross-court serve to Goff. Avila forced to just put it over. Sammy Holmer to the floor for that one. That attack comes right back. Vickers goes to the floor to try and dig it out, but it's a side out to George Fox. So we see Jordan Hahn return to the lineup. And it's Alaire Gilder serving for George Fox. She serves to Vickers. The set comes back to Bella, who just pokes it over. It rolls just out of bounds, untouched by George Fox. A little unhelpful deflection there from the net. I'm going to see Moana Massey, first year from Missoula, Montana, for the first time at the setter position tonight, giving Malia Ferraro a much-deserved break. It's 4-1 Bruins here early going in set 3. And Alaire Gilder serves again. Massey with the quick set to Lily Thompson, but Thompson unable to put that one attack. That set may have been just a smidge low, but a good effort by the Blues. 5-1 Bruins. Now the Bruins, if I'm not mistaken, took set number 3 off Whitworth last night, so you can't put them out of it. And, of course, we watched the Blues execute a reverse sweep after dropping 2 sets last Friday night here in Sherwood Center. Good swing there by Addie Belt. Dug out by the Fox defense, but they're unable to track down the resulting deflection. Massey and Belt will go to the sideline, and Haley Pruce and Sophie Bray-Zumley will come back in for Whitman, as Pruce will be back to serve for the Blues. She puts that one deep. Avila struggles with it, but the good job there by the Blues letting that one go. And that swing by Goff sails long, and it's a point on the serve of Haley Pruce. 3-5. Whitman trailing by 2 now. Pruce puts that one deep. Good swing by Hahn, but it's handled nicely by the Blues. Sophie Bray-Zumley gets a good hit on that one. Bruins forced to play the free ball over. Pruce the set to the middle. Bray-Zumley is there to put that away. Fox unable to control, and it's a good little run here by Whitman to get back into this third set. Haley Pruce serving again, trailing now just by a single point. Driven serve to Avila. And unfortunately, she and Lexi Bear get into a little you got it, no you got it discussion, and nobody got it, and it's a point to Whitman. We're all knotted up at 5 apiece. Good job by Whitman arresting that Fox momentum there early in the third set. Pruce sets Thompson, who gets a nice swing on it, but Avila digs it out. Nice swing there by Addison Goff. Sammy Holmer unable to get a hand on that, and it's side out to George Fox. So we get a couple of subs in for Fox. Jenna Nibbs. Am I seeing the number right? I'm sorry if I'm not. And Chloe Wiersma, whose serve was particularly potent there in set number 2. Nice swing by Bray-Zumley off of the block by Jenna Nibbs. Sophie really swinging nicely tonight. And Bella Vickers now back to serve for Whitman. Bella served so well at the end of set number 2. She drives that one deep to Avila. Goff puts a nice swing on it, but it's dug beautifully by Haley Pruce. The backline swing from Vickers, though, sails long and out of bounds. And it's side out to George Fox, where Addison Goff will go back to serve with a 1-point lead for the Bruins. Serves to Homer. Bartok sets it right back to Sammy, and that swing is off of the Fox wall. Gracie Bearden dives to try and get the deflection, but unable to control it, and it's a side out back to the Blues. As we see our traditional rotation here of Herman and Taryn Flaherty returning, and the 2 seniors, Bartok and Thompson, go to the bench. As Taryn puts the ball into play. Deep cross-court serve to Goff. It's going to be a free ball over off the hands of overpass there by Sammy Holmer, but we had a little net violation there called on the Blues, and it is a side out to the Bruins. Avila drives this serve to Sammy Holmer. Pruce sets it back to Sammy. That one's sent back by the Bruins defense. Quick flick over by Pruce. Nice reaction there. Kendall Herman throws one down, but it's dug out nicely. That attack does not make it over the net. 4 touches on the Bruins. And it's side out to the Blues, as we're knotted up at 8 apiece. And we'll see a substitution here. Belt and Massey will return for Pruce and Bray-Zumley, and Moana Massey will go back to serve for Whitman. Eight all. Handled by Avila. That poke attack by Gracie Bearden is off the Whitman wall, but out of bounds for the side out. Bear and Cronholm back in for Fox. as Michaela Cronholm will be back to serve for the Bruins with a 1-point lead. Cronholm drives that one deep to Sammy. Big swing there by Addie Belt. She got all the power into that one, deflected off the Fox block and out of bounds. And Sammy is back to serve now with things knotted up at 9 apiece. Nice serve there. Fox is going to be forced to just put a free ball over. Bearden drives it deep. The set over to Belt again, this time on the right side of the court. That's handled by Fox. Sammy to Moana to Kendall Herman, but that's dug out by Michaela Cronholm. Oh, good hustle by both Sammy and Jamie, but Blues unable to control it. As we'll see, Kendall Koski sub in for some enhanced defense here on receive of serve from Gracie Bearden. Bruins 1-point lead now, 10-9. Good eye there by Bella Vickers as that serve goes just past the end line. And we'll see Lily Thompson return to the lineup. And Bartok back in as well. Bartok serving. Drives that one. Forces Avila to her knees to dig that one out. Good hustle by Bartok to dig that one out. Vickers puts it across the net. Good handle by Koski there. And the big swing by Addie Belt, but it's handled nicely by. And the slam dunk on the slight overpass there. Bella Vickers puts it away. Nicely done there by Bella. As the Blues now edge out to a 1-point lead, and Jamie Bartok back to serve once more. Jamie to Bearden. The back set comes to Lexi Bear, but handled nicely by Massey. Massey to Bartok, and a little punch over by Addie Belt. That overpass comes right back to the Blues. Massey will set Vickers. Good back and forth here from both teams, but that big swing by Addison Goff, and Moana Massey's unable to control that big attack from the Bruins, and it's side out to George Fox. 11 apiece now, as Alaire Gilder now is back to serve, as well back to serve. And she drives that deep ball to Kendall Koski. And a scramble by the Blues there. Unable to control that serve from Gilder. Continue very tight action here within a 1-point channel in set number 3. The Bruins with their nose out in front now, 12-11. Gilder sends that one deep. Massey the back set to to Addie Belt, Handled by the Bruins. Bear forced to put that one over it. Nice swing by Vickers, but that's sent back by the defense. Cross-court swing there by Addie Belt. The back set to Goff, but that's sent back by the Whitman defense. Vickers digs that one. Massey sets Belt. She flicks it back, but it is just long. A lot of scrambling in that point, but it ultimately lands to the benefit of the Bruins as they now take a 2-point lead here in set number 3. That's sent back by Hahn. And Belt gets a nice swing on that one off the block of Goff and Hahn. And it's down to the ground. As we'll see, Haley Bruce and Sophie Bray-Zumley return. Belt and Massey will take a break. And it's Haley to serve now, as Whitman finds itself down 1 here in set number 3. And Haley puts that serve into the net for an immediate side out back to the Bruins. Subs for the Bruins as Wiersma and Nibbs return to the lineup. And Chloe Wiersma will be serving for Fox as they are back to a 2-point edge. Good eye by the Blues to let that serve go. Wiersma puts it long past the baseline. And we'll see Sammy Holmer return for offense here on the front line as Vickers is back to serve for the Blues. She drives that one deep to Avila. And the Fox just forced to put that ball over. Bruce sets Lily Thompson on the right side. Nice swing, but dug out well by Fox. Goff puts a big swing on it, but it's roofed by Sammy and Lily. Nice dig there by Jamie Bartok. That overpass sails just wide out of bounds, unfortunately. Good hustle there by the Blues, but the point falls to the Bruins. And it'll be Addison Goff back to serve now for George Fox. Goff puts it low at Sammy's feet, but beautifully handled there. The quick set to Lily Thompson there. Checking the rotation there. Coach is going to have Lily stay in and serve here, but Kendall Herman returns to the match. We haven't seen Lily serve yet this match, but she punches it right across to Avila. Good job there. Kendall Herman and Sammy Holmer up. I think Herman got most of that one. Sending it back at the Fox attackers, and it's good for the Blues point on the serve of Lily Thompson. It's now knotted up at 15 as Lily serves again. Quick set, beautiful hustle there by Vickers to try and dig out that attack from Hahn. But Jordan Hahn with the point as we see substitutions now. Alaire Gilder back in for the Bruins. Dry up some sweat there on the court, and it'll be the Fox libero Isabella Avila serving now. The 1 point lead, 16-15. Bartok to Bruce. Brazumley gets a nice swing on it. That comes right back to the Blues. Sophie will get another attack, and it just tips it over the defense. Big swing coming here. Wow, nicely dug out by the Blues. Goodness gracious. Wow. Okay. Gracie Bearden there really identified the gap there in the back corner. Nice hustle by Bella Vickers to get a hand on it, but was unable to control. It's a 2 point edge for the Bruins again as Avila's serving once more. I think we had a rotation error there on the Blues. And that's a point. That's an unforced error there on Whitman, and Coach Helm wants a timeout. As the Bruins have a 3 point lead here late in set number 3. Today's game is being brought to you by Flow College, the essential destination for college conference partners in Division 1, 2, and 3, which packages event live streams and rich editorial content into one accessible product. It is the leader in streaming for Division 2 and 3 sports and the #1 provider of women's sports at these levels, with more than 9,000 games slated for the 2025-2026 season. With Flow College, subscribers have the most comprehensive and personalized access to select college conferences, schools, and teams across all leading web, mobile, and connected TV applications. All right, exciting action here in set number 3. Fox continues to keep their nose out in front here in the late goings. Wanting to stretch this match out, of course. Blues would like to put it away in straight sets. So far, 10 kills for the Bruins through this point in set number 3, and 11 kills for the Blues, against 6 hitting errors for the Blues and only 2 hitting errors for George Fox. So really clean job on the attacking side by the Bruins here in set number 3, and that has them out to a 3 point lead, 18-15. But Isabella Avila is still serving. Blues need a side out here. As Avila drives that one to Sammy Holmer. The set over to Sophie Brazumley, but that is blocked down by Jenna Nibbs. The block comes down and lands in, and it's now a 4-point edge for the Bruins. 19-15. Good job by Vickers to get down for that serve. Sammy puts a big swing on it, but it's handled by the Bruins. Good block there by Brezumley and Herman. Another block there from Sammy. That swing by Gilder is handled by the Whitman wall. Kendall Herman puts a swing on it. Fox scrambles. We have a free ball coming for the Blues. Bartok to Pruce. Sammy Holmers comes right back to her off the Fox block. This time she ticks it over, but Nibbs is right there to dig it. It's a pretty free ball here. Bartok sets Sammy again, but that comes back. Sammy again, good reflexes to keep the point alive. And Gracie Bearden finally puts an end to the point to the benefit of George Fox again, finding that open spot in the back line and putting a clean hit on it. The Bruins now 5-point leaders here in the late goings of set number 3, as they're taking more points on the serve of Isabella Avila. Brezumley pokes that one deep, but it's handled. And a big swing there from Jenna Nibbs off the Whitman block and out of bounds. And Coach Helm is going to take another timeout. Blues now down 6, 21-15. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
Sarah Marshall. I'm a senior politics and environmental studies major, and I work with the Career and Community Engagement Center as the student leader for community partnerships. It has provided me with a lot of opportunities to work collaboratively with a diverse range of people. So as I look to my post-grad plans, I'm thinking a lot about nonprofit work and community building, community organizing, and I don't think that any of that would have been the direction I would have chosen without having this hands-on experience.
And welcome back to the Sherwood Center. We're on George Ball Court. We're in set number 3 here between the Whitman Blues and the George Fox University Bruins. Blues lead 2-0, but Fox is up by 6 here in the late goings of set number 3. And the ref blows play live, and Isabella Avila puts the ball in play again. Quick set there to Kendall Herman, but it's dug nicely by Chloe Wiersma. That swing by Gracie Bearden sails wide, and it's a much-needed side out for Whitman. We'll see the double subs here. Addie Belt and Moana Massey coming back in for the Blues. Haley Pruce and Sophie Brezumley getting a break, and Massey will be back to serve now in a 5-point hole. But we saw the Blues dig out of a hole late in set number 1, hoping they can do that again here in set number 3. Massey puts that one deep to Goff. That nice swing by Jenna Nibbs there. Off the left side block, but down for the point and side out. As we see Bear and Cronholm return to the match for the Bruins. Now just 3 points away from a third set win here, as Cronholm will serve for Fox. That one comes to Vickers and Sammy. They needed to communicate a little bit. And Fox returns the favor of not communicating, as 3 Bruin players just watched that ball fall to the court between them. And Sammy will take the credit for that kill and go back to serve. Sammy. Big serve, but it sails long. That's a tough time for that, as that gives the Bruins a 6-point lead again, 23-17. And it's Gracie Bearden, the 5'9" junior, back to serve for George Fox. That one comes low to Bella Vickers. Good job by Massey to put the ball up, but it is sent out of bounds by Addie Belt. And the Bruins now find themselves on a whole series of set points here in set number 3. Herman forced to just put that ball over. And there will be a big swing from Goff coming, but blocked nicely by Addie Belt. That one, Addie gets a hand on that one as well. And now the swing from the other side as Lexi Bear puts it away and puts an end to set number 3 as George Fox is going to take that one down 25-17. And we're going to see fourth set action here at the Sherwood Center. We're going to take a quick break and be back with the fourth set right after this.
Sarah Marshall. I'm a senior politics and environmental studies major, and I work with the Career and Community Engagement Center as the student leader for community partnerships. It has provided me with a lot of opportunities to work collaboratively with a diverse range of people. So as I look to my post-grad plans, I'm thinking a lot about nonprofit work and community building, community organizing, and I don't think that any of that would have been the direction I would have chosen without having this hands-on experience.
And welcome back to Sherwood Center, where George Fox has taken down set number 3 in tonight's volleyball match with Whitman. And Whitman leads 2-1 as we go into fourth set action. Nice fight back by the Bruins there to win set 25-17 in set number 3, excuse me. Only 3 attacking errors there for the Bruins in set 3 versus 8 for the Blues. 10 kills on 8 errors versus 8 errors on 45 total attempts there for the Blues in set number 3, excuse me. And 12 kills against 3 errors on 42 total attacks for the Bruins. So much cleaner attacking for George Fox in set number 3, and that was all the difference. As we are waiting the final ready here for the referees, and they signal we're getting ready to play. It will be Gracie Bearden leading off the service for George Fox. She's joined on the court by Avila Cronom Goff. I cannot see the other numbers. It looks like Alaire Gilder. Big swing there. That's a good way to start the set, as Marina Gershina puts that one away. And that's an excellent way to bounce back and start this fourth set, as Bartok will be the first to serve. The little assist from the net tape. Avila dives to try and get a hand under it, but is unable to control it, and it's a second point for the Blues here early in set 4. That one handled by Avila. There's a little quick attack by Gilder, but the Blues handle it nicely. Another swing coming from Gushina, and it's off the block from Bear and Gilder, out of bounds for another Blues point. Nice swings by Arena here early in set number 4. Bartok puts it in play again. They're really serving Avila pretty deliberately. Nice block there by Lily Thompson. That one on Goff comes right back off of Addie Belt. Outstanding defense there by Addie. And the Blues open set 4 just the way Coach Helm would like to see on a 4-0 run. Jamie puts it in play again. Good hustle and reaction there by Lily. Vickers puts it over. Fox sets up another swing for Bear. Oh, now a little stuck in directional misdirection there, and Vickers unable to get to that ball. And the Bruins put an end to that quick little run by the Blues, and it'll be Alaire Gilder back to serve for George Fox here. Nice swing by Belt, but dug beautifully by Gilder. It comes back to the Blues. Addie will get another shot at it. That one deflected by the wall. Gilder forced to play it. Goff gets a swing on it. That's off the Blues defender, and Bella Vickers unable to corral the deflection. And it's a point to the Bruins. 4-2 Blues lead as Alaire Gilder is back to serve again for George Fox. Vickers to Ferraro. The swing by Gushina. Off the fist of Gracie Bearden. She can't corral that one. And it's a back to the Blues as Haley Pruce and Sophie Brezumley will come back in for Belt and Ferraro. And it'll be Haley Pruce serving for the Blues. Haley serves to Bearden. That handled nicely there by Vickers to the floor to dig that attack. And a big swing by Sophie Brezumley off of Avila and out of bounds for the Blues point. Nice work by Sophie. It's her 6th or 7th kill of the night now. Goff's attack sails just past the end line, and it's a 7-2 lead for Whitman. Haley Pruce back to serve again. Drives that one deep. Bearden handles it. That swing by Goff comes back off, maybe more off the net than off the block by Brezumley, but regardless, it's a point for the Blues as Haley is ready to serve again. And she drives that one low in front of Isabella Avila, and it's another point for Whitman as they're on a tear here. And Coach Davis wants a timeout. No, she does not. Excuse me. I thought she was signaling for a timeout. She may want one now, as it's a 10-2 hole for her Bruins. And yes, indeed, Coach Davis calls timeout. And it is time for them to talk about it. We'll flash back to some individual statistics for the match now. After the third set, Addie Belt up to 12 kills. Gushina with 6. Lily Thompson and Sophie Brezumley with 5 apiece through 3 sets. Kendall Herman, Bella Vickers with 4. Sammy Holmer with 4. And Kendall Herman with 3. For the Bruins, you've got Gracie Bearden leading the way with 10 kills through 3 sets. Addison Goff with 8. Alaire Gilder and Jordan Hahn with 5 apiece. Alexis Bear and Jenna Nibbs with 2 apiece. And Gabriela Yepes Suarez with still the single kill on the night. Great start to set number 4 here for the Blues as they've leapt out to an 8-point lead, 10-2. And just a reminder, the Blues will close out regular season volleyball next week on the road. On Friday, Whitman is playing at Pacific Lutheran. You'll recall perhaps that Whitman took down the Lutes in straight sets in early October here at the Sherwood Center, and they'll be looking to do that again next weekend. And then on Saturday, the Blues close out the season against conference leaders, University of Puget Sound, who sits at 11-1 in the conference, so that'll be a tough battle to close things out. PLU standing just above the Blues in the standings right now for conference. So Whitman's going to be highly motivated to win these games as we're back to action, and Haley Pruce serves again. Big swing there by Jordan Hahn, but nicely handled. Brazumley returned. Wow, look at Lily Thompson was ready for that. Fantastic job by the Blues. Perfect positioning there by Thompson, anticipating the possibility of a block, and indeed there to field it when it did, and it's another Blues point. 11-2. That one just past the end line. Nice string of serves there by Haley Pruce. We'll see 2 subs in. Chloe Wiersma in to serve, and Jenna Nibbs also back in for the Bruins. Bruins have dug a big hole here, 11-3. As that one handled by Gushina. Pruce got a nice set back to, oh no, a little miscommunication there between Pruce and Thompson as to who was going to take that deflected ball, and it's unfortunately falls to the floor for the Fox point. As Wiersma serves again. Big swing by Sophie Brazumley. Wow. And there was nothing Isabella Avila could do about that one. She absolutely destroyed that ball, and that was fun to watch and to hear. Good serve now by Arena. That one's off the net and down for the Whitman point. It's Gushina serving now with a 9-point lead for the Blues, 13-4. A little quick shot by Hahn is handled by Sophie. She's going to, nope, Arena just forced to play that ball over. Little tick attack, good job there by Haley Pruce to field that one. That attack by Vickers is rejected, but Bartok is there. And another nice swing by Sophie Brazumley off the defenders and down for the Blues point. Now a 10-point lead for Whitman here in set number 4. 14-4 as Arena is back to serve once again. She puts that one just over, and Hahn returns it right to the Blues with a quick attack from Lily Thompson into the gap in the Bruin defense. And the Blues have clearly come to play in set number 4. Gushina drives that one deep. Bearden pops it up. And the swing there from Jenna Nibbs. But a little quick, well-placed attack there by Bella Vickers. Just some stellar play here in set number 4 from the Blues. Gushina puts it in play now, 12-point lead, just drops that one in. Sends Jordan Hahn to the floor. It's deflected off, and the Bruins need another timeout to talk about it. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment. And we're back at the Sherwood Center where the Blues are out to a huge lead in set 4, 17-4. Gushina serves, and the block from Lily Thompson on senior night. Beautifully done by Lily, and it's 18-4. Gushina serves again. Wow, good. And for unbelievable. Everything is going the Blues' way. The little pinball there on the defensive side, and then Vickers able to just place that ball perfectly in the deep back corner for a 19-4 lead. Nibbs puts a big swing on that one. Takes an unfortunate carom there off the rafters of the Sherwood Center. Vickers unable to control it. And that a hell of a streak there by the Blues. And it's side out now to the Bruins, where Addison Goff will serve for George Fox. Serve to Vickers, who's going to get the set back from Bruce. And she does what she needs to do with that. Puts a nice swing right down the line. We'll see Taryn Flaherty and Kendall Herman now return to the lineup, with Flaherty back to serve with a 15-point lead now for Whitman in set 4. She puts that one right into a gap, puts Goff to her knees to try and dig it out, but it is another point to the Blues, and they have a 16-point lead. We're going to see a sub. Laylee Rasmussen will come in for George Fox. Goff will get a break, as Taryn Flaherty is ready to serve again for Whitman. She drives that one deep to Avila again. Hahn gets the better of that one. Blues unable to corral her attack. And it's side out to George Fox. Alaire Gilder returns, but it's Isabella Avila whose service was so lethal in the late parts of the third set. She serves Vickers, and that one comes right over. Lucky break there for the Blues as the return from from Fox sails outside the antenna. And it's a side out to Whitman as Ferraro and Belt return in place of Bruce and Brezumley. And Malia Ferraro now will be serving with the 16-point lead. And a beautiful service winner there from Malia. And are 2 points away from the match here in Sherwood Center. Great placement on that serve by Ferraro, and she's ready to serve again. That one's taken by Avila. She sets Bearden, who gets a big swing on it off the block from Belt and out of bounds for the side out to George Fox. Lexi Bear and Michaela Cronholm return to the lineup, and Cronholm will be back to serve for the Bruins. 23-7. Bruins have a mighty large hole to dig out of. Cronholm serves Vickers. And forced to just punch that ball over. And I think Fox was a little more confused than the Blues seemed to be on that point. And it ends up with a successful attack from Vickers, and she has the match on her hand here with this service. She drives it to Avila. A nice little roll attack by Alaire Gilder right over the Whitman defense and into a gap between the front and back lines for the Bruins point. We're seeing Addison Goff return to the lineup now, and Gracie Bearden is back to serve for George Fox. 24-8. Many match points here. That one just sent back over by Gushina. Gonna see that swing by Lexi Bear sails long, and that's it. The Blues take set 4, 25-8, and that's a victory here on senior night in the Sherwood Center. Congratulations to the Blues as the teams shake hands. We'll take a quick break and possibly be back with final game statistics, but in any case, be back to say goodnight. Welcome back to the Sherwood Center, where tonight in Northwest Conference action, the Blues take down the Bruins 3-1. After dropping set number 3, the Blues come back with an absolutely dominant performance in the final set. We'll have a look here at statistics for the game. Whitman finishes 52 kills against 22 hitting errors on 160 total attempts, hitting 188 on the night. The Bruins 39 kills against 20 hitting errors on 152 total attacks. So really well done by the Blues. In that last set, 13 kills against only a single error by the Blues attack. So they really cleaned things up. 14 service winners on the night for the Blues, including 5 there in set number 4. Just a stellar performance. The Bruins unable to come up with a single service winner there in set number 4 after having 7 during the first 3 sets. So again, the Blues go on the road to finish the regular season next week against 2 teams ahead of them in the standings, Pacific Lutheran on Friday and Puget Sound on Saturday. So tune in for that action and cheer the Blues on. We'll try to make their way into the Northwest Conference tournament. But with that, I'm Jay Kurtulis, and just want to say thanks for tuning in for tonight's match. And it's been a great season. I've learned a lot about calling volleyball. I'll look forward to returning next year for more volleyball action. For those of you who watch Blues basketball, I'll have the good fortune of getting to call a couple of basketball games in December. So tune in and listen for a sport that I grew up with. So maybe I'm a little more savvy with it. But it's been a great time bringing Whitman volleyball to you this season. And with that, I'll say thanks, good night, and go Blues.